Welcome back if you've been with us before, and welcome if you're new. Uh, Welcome to a new series on my channel that is going to be called, or it is called, Bible Words of Wisdom. And I thought about a version of this a while back. I just didn't know how I wanted it to be structured. I didn't know how I was going to do it or exactly like what to say. But this came to me today when, well, a few hours ago, technically yesterday. But this came to me after a back and forth that I've been having with somebody that I worked with. I reconnected with her on a social media platform, and I got this idea, and I just came up with the idea of this, like a Bible verse, the meaning of the Bible verse, and then the words that God puts in me to say. I'm not a pastor. I didn't go to seminary school, but I've been to church almost my whole life. I read daily devotionals. I've read books, and I don't know, I just felt like in this time and the world needed some positivity, and I know that it might not be a popular series. It might not get a lot of views. I don't even get a lot of views on my channel to begin with, but that's okay, because it's supposed to help whoever it's supposed to help, and it'll reach whoever needs this. So, and this isn't just for people that believe in God. This isn't just for people, that are Christian. This could be helpful to anyone. You could just take whatever you want from it, and hopefully this is helpful to somebody, because, or otherwise I wouldn't have felt the need to put it out there. So today's Bible verse, this actually has a few versions, but we're going to read the one from Mark. I'm going to be reading from Mark 12:41-44. Jesus sat down opposite the place where the offerings were put and watched the crowd putting their money into the temple treasury. Many rich people threw in large amounts, but a poor widow came and put in 2 very small copper coins worth only a few cents. Calling his disciples to him, Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put more into the treasury than all the others. They gave out of their wealth, but she gave out of her poverty, put everything, all she had to live on." And this came to me, like I said, because of an interaction that I had with somebody that I worked with before. She and I just been conversing or sharing comments on social media, and it brought me back to when we worked together. She was sharing the things that she was working on, all the causes that she worked for, and I thought it was amazing. And then she said that she had felt overwhelmed, and she was feeling down on herself, and she was sharing that with her, and I comforted her in that moment. I told her that she was doing great. She just needed to remember to focus on herself sometimes. And it reminds me of someone else that I went to school with. She had started a particular group on Facebook, and she didn't know if it was worth it, and I told her that it was something that God put in her heart, then she should do it. Doesn't matter if there's only 2 people paying attention, 10, 15, 100 people. She's helping someone. It goes along with the whole pandemic situation and how I felt that I wasn't contributing enough financially. I am not working due to this situation. Due to this pandemic, the virus, I've been out of work, and I've been on unemployment, and it has been very little. And though this is a huge blessing, I'm not complaining about that. I do feel inadequate, and especially with my parents, I felt inadequate in knowledge about certain things, and I don't feel like, even before I never felt like I was good enough. I worked so much. I love helping people. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm giving enough, because it doesn't seem like it's a huge gesture, or it's not enough financially. It doesn't seem like a big contribution. And this message is also to parents, and I take from my own parents and how they felt. This is something that I've noticed, a sentiment that has been going around in this time and before this time, but a lot, in this time. And that's why I wanted to do this channel on this particular verse, or Bible verses. It feels like sometimes like it's not enough. And in this particular Bible story, the verses, it tells us that you are enough. Everything that you've done is enough. If you are doing it out of the goodness of your heart, with all your heart, your good intent. Andy Stanley once said, rich people aren't generous. Generous people are generous. To give like a sacrifice, to give out of your poverty, to give enough that it makes a dent in your savings, that is huge in comparison to somebody that it's a drop in the bucket. For them, it's a drop in the ocean, a dime in the bucket. It doesn't touch them. It's great that they give. I'm not knocking them, but yours is just as important as theirs. Yours is valued yours is so much more because you gave when you didn't have to, when you don't have to give, and you give. That's exemplary. And God is saying that is enough. You are working and you are giving all to your kids. You are making sacrifices. And you think that is not enough because your kids aren't dressed in the latest fashion. It is enough for them. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job if you're doing in all that you can. If you are giving your best, that is all that anyone can ask for, and that is enough. I know that it seems crazy right now. I know that sometimes you exhaust yourself and you feel like you're a burden or you're not giving enough. I feel like that. Like, I wish that I could give more, but God is saying it is enough. These Bible verses mean that it's enough. You might not believe in the Bible. You might not believe in God or Jesus, or you believe in one and not the other, because some people do. This point is still valid, and this is still for you. You're doing a good job. Your 2 mites are just as valuable as the large amounts that other people could give, because you are giving out of your heart. You are giving everything that you can, and it is enough. Your kids will see that. It might not click for them, and it might not click for them now, but you will shape them into being amazing people and doing great things and showing people kindness. That is just as important as writing a big check that is just a 100th of your wealth. Giving out of your heart multiplies your small amount by 1,000, and it is noticed and it is important. Don't let the negativity of you feeling like you're not enough, don't let it get to you, because that's when you start sinking, and that is when you fail, and that is when you can falter. You don't give your best. And that's what I felt like sharing, and that was in my heart, because I felt for my friend that I was talking to. I felt for the parents that I've been seeing. I have friends that sometimes don't feel like they're enough, that they're not doing enough. There's a limitation to what you can do physically, mentally, emotionally, and you also need to remember that eventually you have to work on yourself. You have to, you can't give 100% and then not expect to feel drained. So you are doing more than enough. If you are working at your full potential, if you have done all you can possibly do, it is enough, regardless of the amount or this the huge gesture. It doesn't matter. Good things come in small packages, and sometimes the littlest things are the things that make the biggest difference. I remember somebody said that they were a teacher and all they did was place their hand on somebody's shoulder lightly. They didn't do anything else, and then they walked away. And they said that student felt that, and it changed them and made them feel good because they were going through something awful, and that just that slight touch on the top of their shoulder made them feel good. She had not felt any sort of affection in a long time, and we don't know, but our smile, one smile can make someone's day, and that contribution was enough. I mean, I don't have like the resources to make the changes that I want to do in the world, but I say, and what I feel is, at least if it made someone's day a little brighter, if I can help someone out, if I can hold the door for someone when their arms are full of groceries, or they're carrying like tons of laundry, they remember that. I mean, I remember something as small as when I'm walking in the street and the light turns green just as I'm about to, or it says walk just as I'm about to hit the curb. That makes me feel good, and that makes my day better. Just remember that the smallest things can make the biggest changes. So, can have the biggest impacts. If it is done out of your heart, God can use that. Now have a good night.